start with some decks today. You guys will be proud of me. I got the majority of my bushes done. Like a lot of what I wanted to get done. So it was nice enough outside for me to do that today. I was very happy. So if I look a little red, that's why, because I got some sun and on my shoulders, which I've already, yeah, you can see there. I already put some, aftercare lotion on there. So, all right, let's get this reading started. Start you off with some bells today. Some of you, that might be hell's bells. Maybe you're dealing with a hellion. I don't know. So I guess maybe we're gonna do drawn to the karmic deck. Yes, please tell me what's going on with this person who's driving me insane. Yeah. Let's also do this pulp tarot here. All right. You can subscribe if you like. You can simply like the video today. Please do, especially if you do join the chat. Please be kind to others in the chat. And remember, you do not have to be a subscriber in order to like the video. Your support is 100% free, okay? So it will help pass those messages around to those who need them, including you, right? I think my dog just sneezed, which I did, like I said, I was working on those bushes and stuff was like flying around. I had a hat on and my hair pulled back and stuff, but I had like little particles all over, that I tried to like dust off before I cleaned up after doing all that. What was I saying? Somebody's dealing with a hellion. I cannot make it up. Who is that? I cannot tell a lie. Is their name Washington? Is their name George? Do they have a relative named George? Okay, I'm just saying. Do they like cherries? Is there something about the color red in this person? The World card. Okay, so yeah. Collective, I feel like you have been getting the signal, right, to kind of hurry up and close this off, tie this off, right? Because when you don't, it's pulling at your energy, okay? And it's putting you in a position doing things that you don't necessarily want or should be doing. It's almost like trying to scare you into doing it. And it's like, you have the option to say no. You do not have to listen to bands from El Diablo. El Diablo is not calling the shots here. Okay? Yeah, Page of Pentacles. Okay, so this could be somebody collective who's kind of an opportunist and they are looking to make a dime on what you got going on. So beware of foul business partners. You might have to go check out the reading I did earlier today about good business partners, and it was all about the pentacles and your abundance and stuff. So whoever this is, that is not that, these are two different energies. Okay, night and day, Page of Wands. Yeah, this, and it says necromancer here. So this could be somebody collective. So if Mercury's in retrograde right now, I'm not sure It is the last day of the first 6 months, right, of the year. So sometimes collective, what happens is people start panicking and they're like, oh no, how am I going to make it without, the collective doing what they did for me before, right? And they could be coming around trying to revive something, and try and play on your heartstrings a little bit, is what I'm getting. Okay. I really did not hearsay, I did hear somebody say, do not open the door for this person. Okay. And the world card is about closing a chapter and opening a new one. Okay. So, and the thing is, you're definitely closing this off. Like, yeah, you're tying it off. So, a cord cutting ritual might be significant for somebody as well. King of Swords. Yeah, you may have gone silent on this person. Ironically, this is coming right in your throat chakra. Okay, so Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We're just getting out of Gemini season and we're in Cancerian season right now. So whoever this is, collective, you may have had a conversation with them, letting them know like this is your final, King of Swords decision. There's no more negotiating. There's no more, well, what if this happens or what if that happens, and delays, and oh, they didn't show up for court, so I had to get rescheduled. No, all that has passed. All that has passed, right? We're not doing those kind of opportunities anymore. That was amateur hour, if you want to know the truth. Okay. And that's part of this King of Swords that's not going to take any BS, right? That's going to be like, um, there is no, it's, that's it. So this could involve a legal situation for somebody as well. Could be a paperwork issue. I'm not sure. In the third eye, okay, where your clairvoyance happens, Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like collective, they can kind of see where you're going now and how successful you are, and they want to, drag along, and they want to drag you along. But then what happens? It slows you down, turning you into the zombie, and you don't want to be a zombie. Okay, I was thinking of the Seinfeld the other day where ends up wearing that puffy shirt, and they're like, well, it's cool, it looks like you're a pirate, and he's like, well, I don't want to be a pirate. And it's like this person would be dragging you doing all those kinds of things if you let them, because they see you have the funds for it, they see you have the stamina for it. You know what I mean? It's like this person is not there to support you in doing these things because you want to, it's because they're able to, and they know somehow this is a manipulation to get you to, you know what I mean? Like, it's about them. It's not about you and them, and it's not about you. Okay? That's what I want you to get straight about this particular energy. This is why the El Diablo came out first. Okay? So, if this is somebody's warning, okay, first 6 months of the year are now gone. You want to repeat that cycle with whoever for the next 6 months? I would cash out of that game if I was you, right? Quit while you're ahead. Isn't that what they say at the tables, some of these people be spinning these roulette wheels like they got unlimited chances in life. And it's like, well, that doesn't exactly happen, does it? I was thinking of that movie the other day, Hope Floats, where she's Sandra Bullock's the main character, and Gina Rollins plays her mother. She does a very good job at it, by the way. The tension between the two, like mother daughter, it's like very real. You know, they nailed it in that movie. But she wants to feel bad about herself and because her marriage fell apart and all these things. And her mother is like, you know what? You're getting another chance here. So, like, don't blow it. Is kind of what she's saying to her in this movie. And it's up to her to decide. So, that movie's called Hope Floats, if you guys didn't know that one. Anyway, I might post that over on the community tab for those who haven't seen it. But it was on TV quite a bit, but like I think it's a quality movie, and teaches you good life lessons. I feel like, you know. Anyway. Why am I hearing that song right now? Okay, guys, I'm getting the I'm in with the in crowd. Yeah, here's the truth. Here's the truth. The truth is the matter is this person saw you as a ticket to live their lifestyle, right? There's literally a person on a jet ski on the television behind me right now. Like this is the life that they were envisioning. Like, ah, la, la, we're gonna be doing this, we're gonna be doing that, la, la, la. Like whatever their little whim. Okay. And because for some reason you're not 100% or if you put any kind of resistance, then turn into a brat, and it's like, and then on top of it, could this person do this for themselves? Let's ask ourselves that question. If somebody else besides you is fitting the bill, right? Mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, however you want to slice and dice it. And when you say no, you become the difficult one, right, collective? Because you're not enabling this lifestyle they were destined to have, right? Now the bully. I mean, sometimes people are so wrapped up in, oh, I'm so different than this and I'm so different than that. And it's like, and then it's like at the end of the day, it's like I feel like I'm just listening to you hate on anything that's not exactly you are doing right now. But when it's in their best interest, they're like ready to walk you down the aisle with a body or not. Oh my god, I was thinking about this too. Remember the Ted Williams thing? Practically frozen? Thank God I'm not really still doing that a whole lot. You know what I mean? Like, anyway, who benefits from that situation? I don't feel like it's the deceased, you know? Unless you're donating your body to science or whatever kind of altruistic type thing. Some folks have opted for organ donation when that happened to be a situation in their present. That being said, what on earth? This card is stuck in here. The Knight of Cups was stuck in here from another deck. So let's get some clarifiers with the Pope Tarot. Very quiet in the chat today. Remember, the chat is monitored automatically, so if you do try and drop some craziness in there, you might just completely get blocked, as part of the settings on YouTube. You know what I mean? Although I do have the option to turn off the chat, I have the option to block individuals in the chat. Okay? Don't let that be you today. Right? We were given our voices to speak with. Right? Not try and silence others in some weird game of who's cooler. right? It's like, who's the mean girl now? Huh? Who's the mean girl now? Have we taken a look in the mirror recently? I feel like some folks need to. And collective, that is something that people in the collective do frequently, right? Where we say, what, was I this or was I what, whatever, right? That's part of growing. That's part of being a grown up, which so many people are not, although they are walking around in adult sized bodies. Now, unfortunately, some of those adult sized bodies can cause a lot of damage. So protect yourself. Protection came out in one of my reading this morning. I mean, at one point, I had to have an open restraining order on somebody. You know, that's just how it was. Four of Wands. Yeah, this came out again in the morning reading. So instead of leaning into this devil energy collective, I feel like you are very focused on your direction. So, although there might be somebody kind of like, wishing you ill will or whatever, right? But it's like you're too busy to pay attention to it because you're like focused on your dreams and your goals and your ambitions and all these kinds of cool things, right? It's like whoever this El Diablo energy is, they don't have that type of vision that you do. Their vision depends completely upon you. All right, to the point where they would have you walking around like a zombie. you know and I was saying this the other day. It was like, especially for the Leos, I was getting this. Especially if you're somebody who like usually has like a big party and or is around a lot of people and stuff, and people expect that of Leos, right? And then if you don't, everyone's like, oh, what, where you been, or why aren't you, yeah. Right, all of a sudden it becomes a problem. You do something 400 and 500th time, like you don't show up, and somebody's gonna be like, I can't believe that. And I'm not talking it's like their wedding or like a big deal type thing. Like a one, like it's supposed to be like a one-time occasion type thing. You know, not the ninth performance of X, Y, and Z. Now, look at that, Three of Pentacles. That was the first tarot card that came out this morning. So yeah, you are tying up any loose ends, old contracts. You're writing up the new contracts. You're in the middle of the new plans as you speak. You do not have time for the tomfoolery of the past with this demon, whatever this demon is. Something wanting to make you feel sluggish. I mean, the heat could have been doing it a little bit, right? Make sure your air conditioning is working, right? Take precautions. Make sure you have proper shelter. Make sure you have proper headwear. Wear proper clothing. All these things can help assist you. Okay. Judgment card. Yeah. Somebody who was looking at you as an opportunity is kind of having like a come to Jesus moment, I want to say. And they're kind of reaching out, like thinking you're going to help them, but they wanted you to help them with just by like leeching. Okay. So, you it might be falling on deaf ears. All right. So this might be something you hear about. Okay. Virgo Hermit card in the heart chakra. Okay. Collective, you could be more wanting to keep to yourself and not, whoever this person is trying to revive whatever. Yeah, you're just like, It could be a Virgo as well. Um, Look at that Scorpio death card. Yeah, so this is clarifying with the King of Swords, which earlier was just that very final, moving on, next chapter. Like by the fall, like collective, you could be in a whole new location, career, relationship, marriage, whatever, right? Like moved on. And somebody else is like, their vision of you is somewhere else. And it's not that that's a bad thing, and maybe it's a good memory for that person, but it's not who you are now. Okay? We all grow up, right? And the people who don't grow are the ones, again, who refuse to look at themselves along the way, right? But collective, that's not you. Okay. So you look at death literally as an opportunity, an opportunity to reassess and say, you know what, am I on track here? You know, what it's one of those things. Circle of life, right? You have to put something into your life, but which parts, right? Maybe you were very focused in one area and maybe now that has come to a completion, maybe a certain career, or maybe your kids are now out of the house, right? So it's, maybe a death to that cycle of stay at home or working full-time mom, right? It's very a transitional type of energy, but again, it's something where you can't go backwards, right? So with that King of Swords, it is that final decision. It's like the papers have been signed, na na na. Yeah, all those things. All those things. Okay. So, oh my. Gemini card, the lovers. Okay, so collective, this person could be wanting you to think that you're in love with them. And it could be one of those things where it's like you think this is just something you're supposed to be doing because this is the next stage in your life. But think about what really truly makes you happy, right? Some people live together and don't get married, officially married or sign whatever paperwork. Maybe they've already signed paperwork before, in a previous relationship. Is that going to impact you, right? I was reading about some story on Reddit, and the guy was talking about a ring that he had bought and whether it was big enough, and all that. And, that kind of brought up this feeling to me a little bit. Like, it's like, are they getting married just to have the wedding? Or are they getting married because they actually like each other and want to be together? And, anyway, focusing on what's important. Okay. So, yeah. Alrighty. Nine of Wands. Yeah, collective. You might be single right now. Whether or not you're looking for a relationship, I think it's gonna find you here. See how this couple's just like randomly so it's like they randomly just like drove into a ticker tape parade. Oh, hi, hi. Right, we're having fun. You know, like they're living their life on vacation type thing. Okay. So yeah, I feel like there is a major shift in your energy here with this Nine of Wands. There's just a truth that you're not going to be defeated. You're also not going to be defeated by people who don't even know you, right? So whatever, right? That's just again, that's not a part of your your circle of whatever you're working on right now, right? And maybe it's because that particular contract has come to a close. Okay. I've seen some weird things, put on Facebook by exes or even ex business partners. And it's like, especially like right immediately following a breakup, and people say, oh, they'll say things about the other person's business. And it's like, they don't have any right to dictate what that person does with their career choices, but a lot of people think they do, and that's weird, right, collective? And that's why you have the gifts that you do of motivation, right? Of persistence, right? Of digging deep, okay? You know, Kobe Bryant is a famous example of somebody who was in the gym before his teammates, right? There's a reason why he was number one, okay? Because he put in that work, he put in that effort, you know? Anyway, I'm sure you guys can draw some other basketball analogies out right now and stuff with that, but this is funny too because on the bottom of this was overall energy, the Nine of Wands, and I actually did draw this pumpkin head card one of the last times I used this deck, so it's funny. Um, yeah, I don't want you to be overly concerned, collective. You might be on the defensive. You might have like your war paint on, or you know what I mean, type of thing. But it's not without warrant, okay? But at the same time, it's like, once you get over that hurdle, because at some point in time you're going to take that makeup off, right? And then it's just going to be walking through with ease. There's just going to be something easy about it. Okay. And you're going to be celebrating, other people are going to be like clapping with you. It's going to be almost like a foreign feeling, like you're visiting a foreign country. You can see where these like, it's kind of like you're looking around. Anyway, okay, so again, we have Gemini, Scorpio, Capricorn, Virgo, and the air signs here with some of the sword energy. Okay, also, a lot of times people say Sagittarius with the Nine of Wands. Okay, so let's just say that's what we got today. Until next time, please do manifest wisely. Bye bye. Hi there to in the chat to Lola's World in Canada. Wonder what that's about. I wonder if she has a channel. Bye bye.